What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Dermy Wormy. I'm coming at you with a new video, and today we're continuing to talk actually about localization. That's right, it's been a long time since I last had to talk about localization issues within anime and media, but we actually get to talk about this within video games yet again. But we come over here, Capcom goes full woke, reveals its localization team alters video games for cultural adaptation, preserving context and inclusive storytelling. Now, we've gone over different aspects of gaming companies doing just this. I believe it was Bandai that actually was putting out games like a Dragon, in which the actual director of Like a Dragon, who lives over in Japan, was coming out and saying, yes, we send all of our games to our localizers within the West and Europe to basically go through all these things and make sure that they're culturally sensitive for our broader audiences, make sure that they're localized for them essentially. And this is a serious issue that's been going on within gaming, anime, manga, so on and so forth, to the point that now we have an actual company coming out here and preaching about what their localization system truly is. What's localization? Embark on a global adventure through the lens of game localization beyond more translation. We're diving into the art of cultural adaptation, preserving context, and inclusive storytelling. Join us as we unravel the intricacies that make games resonate worldwide. And when you go through some of this stuff, yeah, it seems very interesting, not just translating the importance of context, bridging the linguistic gaps, cultural sensitivity and characters, inclusive language and representation. By the way, look at that nice little rainbow, adapting humor and wit, consistency in terminology. Gosh, you just gotta love how open they are about not liking products, not actually liking Japanese culture, not actually liking any of these other individuals' culture. And they love to just take these parts of Japanese culture, for example, and culturally appropriate it to fit their own culture. Interesting how people that are usually against cultural appropriation love to just go around and colonize other people's culture. Gotta love it. But when you take a look at some of these, they're also quite interesting. Grums has a nice little timeline for us. What is the localization? The lens of game localization beyond mere translation. And we're diving into the art of cultural adaptation, preserving context and inclusive storytelling, which we already just went over. But let's see some of these things. Cultural sensitivity and characters. Character design and development must be culturally sensitive. What may be acceptable in one culture might be offensive in another. Localizers play a crucial role in ensuring that characters are relatable and respectful, avoiding stereotypes or other references that could be perceived as negative in specific cultures. Well, you know, the more I read this, it reminds me a lot of what the Like a Dragon guys actually said and when they came out and talked about this. And here, I'll pull that up real quick. This comes from the Japan Times. Now, this story I went over would have been a few months ago, actually, in which the Like a Dragon and Yakuza director talked about localization and what their process is, in which they actually send these projects over to their Western companies to get things changed without later on saying, well, we don't do that, but they blatantly say it. But here's the thing that they talk about. They like their localizers to give them information on things that they take out of their games after they send it to their localizers. No longer acceptable. A better understanding of Japanese culture among players means adaptation can be more subtle. The Yakuza series is now called Like a Dragon, closer to the original Japanese. LGBTQ caricatures and sexist cliches have also been axed. All of this comes after they took their stuff to their localizers overseas. They also got things like, hey, maybe you shouldn't have a character in all black leather because that reminds people of Yahtzee uniforms. And situations like that has been going on all over the place. But we get inclusive language and representation. Localizers' efforts extend to promoting inclusivity through language and representation. This involves adapting not only the linguistic aspects but also addressing gender specific language, cultural norms, and diverse perspectives. The aim is to create an immersive experience where players from different backgrounds can identify with the characters and narrative. This can be very challenging for certain languages due to grammar. Yes, and this is another thing that we've been seeing where they take entire lines of dialogue and make a character maybe gay now, make a character trans now, and I'm firmly in the position that, body type 1 and body type 2 isn't a big deal, but body type 1 and body type 2 is another example of this, and where they take out gender specific language, identifying a character as a boy, girl, son, daughter. They take that out and say relative, things of that nature, and that's wrong. That's not okay to do. And I'm not big on the whole argument around body type 1 and body type 2. I think it's a very minimal issue, but it is still an issue that is going on right now. You get more importance of context. Lost in translation? Nah, preserving the vibe is key. Jokes, references, and even gameplay elements might need a little cultural remix. It's important to find that sweet spot to make sure players get the intended experience without feeling like something got lost in the process. No. Yes and no. We want the exact same experience that the Japanese players got, or the Spanish players, or the consistent exact same thing. Why do I have to have a different thing? Because it's insensitive to maybe some blue-haired land whale down in California when I'm a Central Kansas guy who doesn't really give a crap. I want the exact same thing, but because people cry about it, they believe, well, we need to change the stuff for sensitivity reasons. And when all these gamers want, all these people that enjoy the actual fans of these projects, all they actually want is basically as close to one as humanly possible. They don't like things getting changed because it's insensitive. They don't like people getting their grubby paws on this because maybe some woman doesn't like the fact that there's a big knocker chick in there that makes them feel less valuable for whatever reason whatsoever. I don't even know why they care. It's a fake character. Let them have the fun with it. This is a consistent issue we've been seeing on and on throughout the game industry, throughout localization as a whole, in which people are constantly coming out and saying, we like to localize because we like to change stuff. We like to make stuff ours and not accept that. Japan, honestly, the creators in Japan don't like that. And what Japan likes is for you guys to show true respect for these properties. What the fans want is for you to show true respect for these properties. And all we consistently get are companies like Capcom, companies like Bandai, companies like the people that put out Yakuza, which is attached to Bandai, but you get the point. All these different gaming companies coming out here saying, well, yeah, maybe over in Japan, we don't change that very much, but for the most part, we're changing it because we don't truly show respect for the creators, because we don't actually like these things. We want to commandeer it and use it to push our agendas and our ideology. But I'm going to leave it there, guys. Let me get you guys' thoughts on all this down in the comments below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with friends, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell for every time I put out a new video and go live, guys. And I'll see you all on the next one. Bye for now.